Welcome Aries, it's September 2013, Didichi here, and I'm broadcasting from the Gold Coast here in Australia, having a bit of a sabbatical. Again, apologies for the delay. I seem to have a lot of troubles technically whenever I go to do these videos, so it makes it a little bit difficult, but the show must go on. And right now, I think I mentioned to you that from August 15th, the transit of Venus in your 7th house or marital sector was an important transit, and it definitely influences your social, romantic, and artistic self. You know, Venus is the cultured planet, so this is impacting upon you in many areas, particularly in your personal life. In the 7th house, it shows you can become very popular, and also the partner that you're with, if you're in a relationship, can also become quite popular. So the two of you as a unit can make quite a great impact. Marriage, engagements, celebrations, all that sort of thing are highlighted during this particular transit. Now, up till the 22nd of September, I might add, by the way, that is up until September 11th that you'll experience that Venus transit. But up to the 22nd of September, you've also had the Sun in the 6th house. That's a 1-month transit. 6th house has to do with your work, your health, and it influences those parts of your nature that can adversely affect your health. So work and health are tied in strongly at this time. And also you need to seek some recognition for what you're doing right now. If you've been working in a very, very humdrum sort of situation, then you're probably not feeling that satisfied with the way people are treating you. So it's time now to, request maybe that pay rise or the better working circumstances that are going to help you to achieve the self-satisfaction that you want in those areas of work. Now, the other important transit, also in the 6th house, is Mercury. That's a quicker moving planet, so its effects are up until till the 9th of September. Another 3 days or 4 days to go on that. And it deals with the practical affairs again of your work, but it also has to do with communication, writing letters, and the more sort of communicative aspects of how you're going to achieve what you want with that Sun transit through this particular sector. Mars is in the 5th house now, and this is a slightly longer transit. It started on August 26th and continues up until the 15th of October for you. That definitely kickstarts your amorous nature. It gives you a more competitive streak and certainly a sexual tone to the affairs of your life right now. You need to initiate new things right now if you've been feeling dull or stuck. And this is an extension to the Sun transit in the 6th house. You should be doing something to push forward in your creative endeavors. That also has to do with the way you've been approaching your love affairs. Shows me here you need to do something to mix that up, to spice it up. And of course, you must be careful in doing that not to be too excessive in the way you try to improve things. You're very impulsive right now in your relationships. So for those of you who are looking for a new relationship, you need to be careful not to shoot from the hip, excuse the pun. That's a sexual pun. Transiting Mercury, now from the 8th or 9th, I just said to you that this transit is a good one because it moves out of this 6th house, which is dominating the affairs of your work and employment, and it moves to the 7th house. Again, this is a great period for you to communicate, but you can see the shift from communication with employers, work colleagues, etc., moves to the more sort of personal side of your nature, affairs of the heart with your loved one. It's also the general public. So if you're dealing with people, generally speaking, this is going to be an easier time for you to communicate your feelings and to get that rapport going with them just now. That continues up until the 29th of September. As you can see, the Mercury cycles are much quicker. And your thinking is going to be more activated. Mercury gets the angular sort of strength that it needs in this part of the horoscope. So your thinking, your ideas, your communication, your intuition too, to some extent, should be well served by Mercury in this very, very powerful position. There's a strong triangular aspect from the Sun to the midheaven. So whatever you've been attempting to do in your work is well supported by this transit from the 9th till the 11th. It's a 2-day window here. But of course, depending on the date you're born, I reveal this transit to you a little bit more loosely. Just be on the lookout for finding out who you are, working more on your identity, particularly in the areas of your work, so you can really make an impact by doing what it is that you feel comfortable with. If you're not happy with your work, this is a small window of opportunity for you to get into yourself and ask those heavy questions of yourself as to what it is you really want to do. Venus moves out of the 7th house on the 10th of September. It continues there through the rest of the month up until October 7th. So I'm giving you an extension on this 1 month reading because, as a lot of you know, I'm sometimes a little bit late and I don't want you to miss out on what's happening there. 8th house is the sexual house. It's also the house of deep probing. It's the house of Scorpio. And for you, Aries, Scorpio is the sign of the zodiac that is regulating this area. So it doubly affects you. It has to do with financial gain through your marriage, has to do with your shared resources, and generally Venus is a good planet to affect this area financially. It's a lucky planet. So you can expect some good things to happen, but you must be on guard not to allow possessiveness, jealousy, a dominant sort of attitude to interfere with your partnerships, not just your personal one-on-one relationships, but those business associations that involve a commercial transaction. That's up until the 7th of October. The final 2 important transits, well, not the final 2, but there are another 2 very important transits here. Mercury in the square to the midheaven from the 20th to around the 22nd. There's 2 days there where I'd hold off writing letters or communicating your feelings, especially if you're pissed off with someone. That's not going to work well for you. It shows that it may be an ill-timed sort of idea to let others know how you feel. Just hold off there for a while. Also I will extend that date because there's an opposition from Mercury to the Sun. So the flow of communication is still going to be a little bit stifled up until and including the 23rd. So take it easy there. Don't communicate your feelings. Maybe just collect your thoughts and your ideas before going into battle. An excellent transit of the Sun moving in the 11th house. 11th house is the house of fulfillment, friendships, social affairs. That occurs on the 21st of September. And that's a 1 month transit as well, when the Sun will actually, the 7th house, the Sun will actually also, along with Mercury, activate, and Venus activate those more sort of personal relationship issues. You can express the power of your personality at this time, but being in Aries, you have to be careful not to be too forceful in the way you do that. Transiting Venus will sextile the midheaven the 26th and 27th, thereabouts. I'd say a few days either side of that as well, depending on the date you're born, is excellent for imprinting a touch of artistic flair to the work that you're doing. Your creativity will be heightened, and you may have an opportunity in your workplace to deliver something a little bit more interesting than the humdrum that you've been accustomed to. Now there's a long-term transit here of Jupiter transiting the opposition of the midheaven. That shows expansion and growth, but also a bit of excessiveness. So it says around the 19th to the 6th, if we just take a very, very strict date of Aries, around the midpoint of the sign. But I'd be saying for all of you, you shouldn't be expressing or expanding your business too far, too wide just now. Consolidate a little bit. And that may be difficult because if you've got the transit of Mars in trine to the Sun, it makes you full of energy and dynamic sort of push. So you may be impulsive and impatient So it's going to take a lot of restraint for you to hold back on that. We see that particularly strong Mars influence up till the 30th of September, around the last few days of the month. The final aspect is Mercury moving into the 8th house on the 28th of September. This is going to be a longer sort of cycle up until the 5th of December, and has a lot to do with focusing on your finances and those aspects of your material welfare. It's not going to be an easy path. We're going to get into that over the next month or two to show you why, and that will have to do with some of the retrograde movements of Mercury. And so some of your decisions are going to be important, but not easy. So let's pick that up next month. In the meantime, join me at astrology.com.au, where you can get more detailed information on your star sign, dailies, monthlies, yearly horoscopes, and a lot of free readings as well. Look forward to you coming again next month. Take care. Bye-bye.